what to say. I honestly don't even know what to say anymore with this Phillies team. It's really, it's just the same thing every goddamn night. Oh my God. Seriously. Honestly, you could say you're embarrassed 2 nights in a row. You're probably not saying embarrassed yesterday because, yes, the offense technically made the comeback. But seriously, like going into the series entirely, you gave the Mets last night's game because you decided to go with Bailey Falter. And look what that, brilliant logic did, Joe. Look what that brilliant logic did. When, let's give our starters a rest. Let's give our starters a rest. We got to save our arms still. They deserve a day off. Going into a very important series with the Mets. Yeah, let's give our starters an extra day off. Go Bailey Falter yesterday. How'd that turn out? Turn out to a loss. How did the extra, day of rest help Zach Eflin, Joe? How did it help? How did it help? It didn't help because he sucked. Zach Eflin was goddamn awful on the mound tonight. He really was. He was. Jeff McNeil, Homer, seriously, everything. Zach Eflin. Yeah, it poured during that one section of the game. Should the target maybe it came down on the field? I don't know. The rain lasted 5 minutes. Yes, it was torrential downpour for that instant. Yeah, maybe there was an implementation where Zach Eflin couldn't grip the ball properly because of the rain. Don't care. I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. That wasn't, the major impact on the game was the rain. It wasn't. It was the fact that, one, your offense sucked once again. It was literally just Bryce Harper trying to do everything possible on the field with a couple of hits in this ball game. Nick Castellanos had a couple of hits too. So if you want to count it as a bright spot, you can. JT Realmuto had also another hit and an RBI in this game as well. If you want to count that as a bright spot, whatever. Phillies had 2 chances in this game with bases loaded. They cashed in on one of those chances. And then Kyle Schwarber with 2 outs, but the bases loaded, popped up. So, yeah. They only scored 2 runs in those situations. And what do you know? The Mets responded instantly in the very next inning. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing how many times certain things can just be predictable. It really is. It really is. When you go up 2-1 and you fail to cash in with the second opportunity with the bases loaded in the very same inning, you're like, well, Mets are going to definitely respond the very next inning. What did they do? Respond with 0 outs. Jeff McNeil, 3-run bomb in the pouring rain. Instantly. Instant response. You just can't make this crap up. You really can't. It really makes me like my blood boil that this constantly happening to the Mets every single game. But this shows to go you how much of a gap there is between the Phillies and the Mets. And I really hate saying that because as a Philadelphia fan, you hate the New York teams. But the Mets are showcasing right now how much of a changed team they are this year, how much of a different squad they are this year. They don't take any shit for granted. They're involved in every single game possible. Even with their 2 best starters on the injured list, they're still going to, put their best effort on the field every single day. What did the Phillies do? You never know. You never know what the Phillies are going to put out there. It's just that. And that's what's really annoying. It really is. Going into this offseason, we expected this year to be different. We did. Did we overhype this team? Did we overanalyze this team? No. Honestly, no, because on paper, this team should be way better. This team should be way better than what they're doing on the field. They really should. Bryce Harper putting together, possibly an argument for another MVP campaign. Really, because he is batting tremendously this year. He puts another 2 hits on the board tonight. He's batting .317 with a .611 slugging percentage. And I think he almost has an 1,000 OPS. Bryce Harper literally doing everything possible for this team once again. And that should not be the case. That should not be the case this year for Bryce Harper has to carry the goddamn team on his back. It really shouldn't. But right now it is. Because right now your only consistent hitters in the lineup are Bryce Harper, Gene Segura, and Alec Bohm. And Alec Bohm is still very young, and he's not going to hit every single game. He's going through a little bit of a rut now. I think he went 0 for 5 in this game, possibly in this game. So his average is dropping down a little bit. It's down to 281. Just terrible defense. Because, yes, we knew this team was going to be bad defensively. We knew that. But we thought, maybe the offense can overshadow that a little bit with how many runs they can put on the board on a consistent basis. Hasn't happened yet. We've seen that spurt for maybe 1, 2, 3 games. Like, seriously, the best, stretch that we've ever had this year with the offense was that 4-game series in Los Angeles where they scored at least 8 runs in 3 straight games. That was the best spurt of offense that we've had this year. 1 week the offense is good. 1 week the offense can't hit for anything. Offense is good. Bullpen's terrible. Bullpen's decent. Offense can't hit. Overall, still I'm going to say your starting pitching has not been the issue, even though Zach Eflin was not good today. Your starter ERA, I believe, is just like above 3.30 or something like that. It's between 3.30 and 4, I believe, the last time I saw with the entire starter ERA. So it's not the best, but that still shows that the starters overall have not been the major issue with this Phillies team. It's the offense and the goddamn bullpen. The defense we knew was going to be terrible. We knew that. And yeah, that is also part of the issue. Definitely. I'm not, undershadowing that any, way, shape, or form. The defense is a major issue. Some of those one of those fly balls to Francisco Lindor in the outfield that went to the warning track, and you got Schwarber and Herrera going at the same time, no one calling the ball whatsoever. They collide into each other, the ball goes off the wall, Lindor gets a 2-run triple. Like, seriously, it's shit like that. Shit like that, a ball that possibly should be caught in the outfield turns into a triple. Where sometimes, a lot of the times, our defense makes it look like little leaguers can play better than us in the outfield. And that's putting it lightly. It really is. Just looking through this game. Just stat line everywhere. Zach Eflin, horrible. He was forced to go 6 innings because of the bullpen usage yesterday and Joe Girardi's brilliant idea, to rest the starters an extra day because that made so much sense. It really did. It really did. Going into a very important series, I'm going to keep stressing this because the idea was moronic. Joe Girardi is a goddamn moron for doing that. I know in the postgame yesterday, they made it sound like they had no idea who was the reason for, making this decision for the starters. It was Joe Girardi. It was goddamn Joe Girardi. Jim Salisbury confirmed that. It was Joe Girardi's decision. It was dumb. It was idiotic going into yesterday because you were hand-delivering the Mets the first game of the series. Hand-delivering it. And yeah, it's no guarantee that Zach Eflin was going to have a better game yesterday, but who knows what you would have done, what would have happened yesterday. Who knows what would have happened if Zach Eflin actually pitched yesterday. Today, though, the extra day of rest didn't help there, Joe. The extra day of rest did not help. It didn't. It didn't at all. This team makes me sick to my core. It makes a lot of people sick. And honestly, the worst thing a fan base can have towards their sports team is apathy, because that's what Philadelphia, all the fans are feeling right now is apathy. Because this year was supposed to be different. This year was really supposed to be different for this Phillies team. It really was. It really was. And yes, I get it. The schedule is supposed to get easier the rest of the stretch. Am I going to believe this Phillies team can actually, go on a run? Can I actually believe that? No. I've been the optimistic guy. I hate being the negative guy. I do. Over this past week, ever since the Dodgers series, I've really been more negative than I've been positive with this Phillies team. I've really been. Because they just keep having losses like this that no team has on a consistent basis. They just do. They just keep having these gut-wrenching losses, these blowout losses, these losses where you take the lead and you immediately let the team respond. You have losses where Bryce Harper gets a go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th inning. And then you bring out Nick Nelson in the bottom of the 9th inning for, a second inning trying to close out a ball game where he has no business being out there. Where you have situations where you have 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning and no one on base, and you somehow lose that game. Where you have situations where you have a 7-1 lead in the 9th inning and you blow that game and you lose it. Way too many times this has happened this year on a consistent basis where no team has this on a consistent basis. Yes, a lot of teams in Major League Baseball are going to have those losses where, yes, they want that loss back, or wins where they probably should have won that game, saying, oh, they should have stole that game. The Phillies have losses like that basically on a consistent basis daily, maybe 2 or 3 times weekly. Honestly, you consider that every loss they have. It's that bad. It's that bad the way they play. I don't know if it's players underperforming. It's your manager being a goddamn moron. It's not everything is not on Joe Girardi. It isn't. It's not all on Joe Girardi because the players do have to execute. When your number is called to go out there, you have to execute. And a lot of times, more times than not, players have not executed this year. There have been moments when they did, but more times than not, they haven't. Your signings, the big signings that you've made this year, this offseason, Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos have been wholly underachieving under their career standards. Really. These two guys have had proven success in baseball basically throughout their entire career. Nick Castellanos, professional hitter in this league. Kyle Schwarber, professional power hitter in this league, has been on very successful teams. Successful Chicago Cubs teams, won a World Series, was with the Boston Red Sox after the trade deadline last year, went to the ALCS, and Kyle Schwarber last year possibly had one of the best seasons of his entire career. That was 2 different types of leaders that you brought into the clubhouse this year, and they're being affected with the Phillies stink. The Phillies stink of culture of losing. Because right now, that clubhouse is just a whole reek of losing. It is. Whole reek of mediocrity, whole reek of losing. This team right now, at the record where they're sitting at currently, they should not be 5 games under 500. They should not be 21 and 26 in the month of May. I've stated, get out of these first 2 months hovering around 500, and then, you go into the final, June, July, August, September with a very easy schedule. But can I really rely on this team? Yes, you play a lot of games against very bad opponents upcoming in, the upcoming months. Pirates, Reds, Cubs, Nationals, a lot. But really, can I rely on this Phillies team beating up on bad teams? Yes, they've had a very insanely tough schedule in the first 2 months. But I've just seen so much uninspired baseball slop in this first 2 months where some games are just not competitive. Some games there's just no fight. A lot of games where Joe Girardi is just making these questionable decisions in the bullpen. A guy, I've never seen a manager mismanage a bullpen in my life. Really, I haven't. I have not whatsoever. And just this game entirely. Like I said, you're in that second inning. Yes, the Mets go up 1-0 in this ball game after a Dom Smith sac fly. But then you get the lead in the 4th inning. Harper leads off with a single. Castellanos a single. Rhys Hoskins walks. Bases loaded situation for JT. He gets a 1-out knock. 2-1 ball game. Camargo then walks with 2 outs. You get the bases loaded for Kyle Schwarber. He flies out. So that's the second bases loaded opportunity. You only left that inning with 2 runs scored. How many runners you left on base that inning? Too many. Way too many. And then Eflin immediately gives up the lead the very next inning. Lindor leads off walk, and this was a very annoying at bat. You go up in the count 0-2 to Francisco Lindor, then you throw 4 straight balls to him. Unhittable pitches that Francisco Lindor is not going to swing at. 0-2 in the count, and you walk him on 4 straight balls. That's not good. That's got to be better. You got to pitch better in that situation. Pete Alonso, who has killed you this entire year, single, so you get a 1st and 3rd situation for Jeff McNeil. 2-strike count. And how many 2-strike pitches have the Mets gotten hits on in this game? Way too many. And how many times have we seen that over the past so many games where hitters just get hits with 2-strike counts? Not a lot of pitchers on this pitching staff have out pitches, do they? Do they? Jeff McNeil on a pitch. Literally, if I look at this entire at bat to Jeff McNeil, a lot of these pitches are on the outside part where he never swung at. First 2 balls, second 2 pitches, strikes. Ball in the lower half corner on the 5th pitch of the at-bat, and he nukes it. Nukes it into the upper deck in right field. Makes it a 4-2 ball game. Instantly. No outs recorded in that situation. Instantly becomes a 4-2 ball game. And then the Mets run away with the ball game from there. 5th inning, they score 3 more runs, make it 7-2. Francisco Lindor with a 2-run triple, then beat Alonso with a sac fly. They make it an 8-2 ball game later with Lindor getting another RBI single. It's basically it. It's basically it for the ball game. Seriously, your best chance in this game was that fourth inning when you had bases loaded twice, and you only scored on one of those opportunities. Seriously, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 4, Alec Boehm 0 for 5, Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos and JT Realmuto were your best hitters in the lineup today. Bryce Harper goes 2 for 4 with a run scored. Nick Castellanos 2 for 4 with a run scored. JT Realmuto 2 for 3 with the lone 2 RBIs in this ball game. Rhys Hoskins 0 for 3, Gene Segura 0 for 4, Odubel Herrera 0 for 4, Johan Camargo 1 for 3. And your runners in scoring position in this game, 1 for 9. The players that had opportunities with runners in scoring position, Gene Segura, Odubel Herrera, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, and Bryce Harper. No hits in those situations. No hits. Technically, JT had the only hit in that situation with the bases loaded. Pitching. Like I said, Zach Eflin was terrible. 6 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts on 92 pitches. James Norwood allowed a run on 2 hits. Connor Brogdon, solid. Seranthony Dominguez literally only had to throw 1 pitch. Seriously. And for Brogdon's situation, he comes in when James Norwood allows so many runners on base. It's like ridiculous how many times we have to bring in relievers when they have, with runners on base. They already have to come into a high leverage situation because the other guy didn't do his job. Like I see the comment right here from Scott Lewis saying, did you see Brogdon's body language when entering the game? He was thinking, what did I ever do to deserve this? I feel like that's a lot of guys there. I feel like that's a lot of guys in the bullpen. Because there's a lot of capable guys in that bullpen that have experience in this league. And Joe Girardi keeps going to the wrong names. Constantly bringing out guys like James Norwood. Constantly bringing out guys like Jose Alvarado. Constantly bringing out these other guys who shouldn't be in the league. Guys that shouldn't be pitching. Guys that shouldn't be in your bullpen. For some reason, he doesn't like pitching Corey Knebel 3 days in a row. And they had a discussion on that a couple of days ago. Corey Knebel in that Mets game, not the Mets game, the Braves game, where Bryce Harper hit the go-ahead home run. Corey Knebel was desperate to try to get to the phone, to try to call Joe Girardi saying, give me the ball in the 9th inning. And Joe Girardi stuck to his gun that brought out Nick Nelson. Sometimes your strategies don't work, Joe. Sometimes you got to go with the best guy out there. There's got to be a guy in that bullpen that literally just says, I want the fucking ball. I want the ball. Let me go out there. Give me the ball. I want to go out there and pitch. It's literally the emotions on this team. It's just a dead atmosphere. It is. It's literally just dead. Dead. That's all I feel. And we're only in the month of May. We're only in May. Like Memorial Day is in a couple of days. And we're already feeling this. There hasn't been 1 ounce of excitement. Well, technically there has been. Technically there was an ounce of excitement. But you know what made that excitement not feel so good? Because it was excitement during a stretch when you were playing games on the West Coast at 9, 10 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock, 9:30 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. 10 o'clock, 10:30 on Friday, Saturday nights when no one's watching. When no one's watching. People are at home, asleep, or they're out at night. Not even paying attention to the game. That's when you had your excitement. And a lot of that stuff was also overshadowed too because the Sixers were still playing. Now that the Sixers have been long gone from the NBA playoffs, you are the lone focus of Philadelphia until the Eagles come back. And granted, a lot of people really want to give up on the Phillies right now and they really want Eagles football back. That's where we're gotten to at this point. It's that bad. It's really that bad. It really is. It's I don't even know what to say. It's just that bad. I just can't describe it. Scott says, as an old timer, I was not this frustrated with the 1961 team as I am with this bunch of millionaires. Well, honestly, Scott, I can't say for that 1961 team because I was not born. I was not born till 98. Oh, Jesus. That stretch from 07 to 2011 just feels like 100 years away. Oh, what? I don't even know how to talk right now. That stretch from 2007 to 2011 feels like it's 100 years ago. It really does. Oh my God. Like, when was the last time? Jesus. Like, seriously, I hate being this. I really hate being the Negadelphian because that's not how I am. That's not what I stress. That's not what I do. I hate being a Negadelphia type of fan. I really do. But right now, this Phillies team just shows no hope. They do. It's literally right now showcasing the same crap as last year, where Bryce Harper is just doing literally everything he can. Really. And I love Bryce Harper for doing that. I do. But other guys just need, like, he has a 20 times better lineup than he had last year. 20 times. And he still has to do the same stuff because guys are woefully underachieving. And I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if that's the manager providing a terrible culture. I don't know if that's the Phillies culture in general that's washing down on these guys. I don't know why so many guys that we put into that goddamn bullpen turn in the crap for having one of the worst bullpens in Major League Baseball over the past 3, 4, 5 years. From having a historically bad bullpen during the COVID year, having a terrible bullpen with so many blown saves last year, and to this slop. Serious, it's every single goddamn year with this bullpen. And this year was supposed to be different. This year was. It really was. I got to sneeze. I could feel a sneeze coming. Felt that one coming for a while. But I digress. It's not a good feeling. It really isn't. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like, I'm losing my goddamn mind. And I'm seeing my group chat going off a little bit over here saying that James Norwood is the next David Hale. Oh my God. Please don't bring that comparison to me. Oh my God. With the way Joe Girardi used David Hale. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I just can't think. Jesus. Mr. W says, I hate what's going on, but I still do have an ounce of hope inside of me after the Brewers series in early June. The Phillies should be winning a lot more. We'll see, though. Yeah, that's exactly what it is right now. Your schedule does get insanely easier from here. Do I have hope that this team can take advantage of that easy schedule? I have no idea. I really have no idea. Can Kyle Schwarber go on a hot stretch? Can Nick Castellanos be the hitter that he, can be? Can Rhys Hoskins go on a hot stretch? Because right now, your most consistent hitters have been Bryce Harper, Alec Bohm, and Gene Segura. And Alec Bohm, like I said, he's not going to hit every single day. He isn't. He's in a little bit of a rut right now. He's not hitting over 300 like he was a couple of weeks ago. But sometimes he still has those multi-hit games. He's still going to have games where he gets on base. He's still been one of your more consistent hitters in the lineup. We need other guys being consistent. We need Schwarber consistent. We need Nick Castellanos consistent. We need Rhys Hoskins consistent. That's just, the way it is. It really is right now. So we just need to find that way. It just sucks right now. It really does. And with the way that the Mets are playing, it just doesn't make it feel any better. It does. At this point, like, I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, division, all that stuff. Like, I never preached division coming into this year. I preached wild card. Because of what the Mets and the Braves were. I didn't expect the Mets to be this good this early, but who knows? Who knows? You do have a fairly easy schedule, but I can't. Oh boy. Oh boy. And it's funny too, like everything else that's trending on Twitter. Like, you see the Jock Peterson, Tommy Pham thing that's like really funny right now, but really, there's just like no positive vibes on this Phillies team. Besides like Bryce Harper and Zach Wheeler. That's it. And I don't know how this team is going to find a way to get the appreciation back for the fans. I don't know, because right now the city is just a whole bunch of apathy. Really, it is. It just is. It sucks right now. It does. It really sucks. Oh yeah, Aaron Nola as well. I don't know. Aaron Nola just slipped my mind. Aaron Nola just completely slipped my mind. Yep, Aaron Nola has been one of the other bright spots this year too. Sheen Segura, Alec Boehm. Really, that's been it. That's been it. Right now, we need the guys that we brought in here. We need those guys to go on, a consistent run. Because Bryce Harper is still just literally doing everything right now. And I want to see Bryce Harper stats still. But I'd look up Bryce Harper right now. Go to his MLB page. Just to see his entire stats right now so far this year. Just everything combined. So right now, this season, 2022, 167 at-bats. He is batting .317 on the season with a .361 on-base percentage. I believe his slugging, if I go to his slugging, where we at? His slugging right now is at .611, and his OPS is .972. Yeah, he's still, doing everything he possibly can. The only thing that's like down for Bryce Harper is his on-base percentage because he's not walking enough. He's not walking. That's the thing. His walks are down, but Bryce Harper looks like he's changed his approach a little bit this year. He's being a lot more aggressive, especially early in the count. Like seriously, anytime he gets like a good pitch to hit early in the count, he's going to hack at it. So I think Bryce Harper completely changed his approach this year. So that's one of the other things. He's not valuing the walk as much. So that's something that is different. Raul says your offense was good also. That's what your team is known for, offense. Right now, the offense isn't cutting it. The offense isn't cutting it. That was one of the things we preached coming into this year. How many home runs this team was going to hit. How good the offense was going to be. And on paper, this offense should be really good. I'm sure their stats throughout Major League Baseball are still at least in the top 10. Like I think at least last week they were top 5 offense in baseball. Top 5 offense, I think top 5 runs scored or something like that. Top 5 slugging, top 5, average. So this offense, does that bode well, for my hope going on, down the stretch, especially when your schedule does technically get easier when you're facing a lot of weaker opponents? Maybe. But right now, it's just like when we're playing a bunch of these good teams, and I know we're playing so many good teams in a stretch in a row, a stretch of good teams. And we're just seeing like, these like gut-wrenching losses, like all these types of losses where it's just like not competitive. That's what, grinds my gears a little bit. It does. Like, I just wish this start to the season, there was just a little more jump. I wish there was a little more oomph. Like, seriously, there's something in my eye right now, and I'm trying to get it out. Like, seriously, this Phillies team is giving me all the feels right now. Like, seriously, everything. Rule says, don't feel bad you're losing to a really good team to a superior team. Yeah, the Mets are definitely a superior team, definitely. And I know we're playing teams like the Dodgers consistently. We've been playing the Mets so many times. We've been playing so many good opponents to start this year. Like, seriously, our easiest team, I believe, that we played against to start these 2 months were the Oakland Athletics, I believe. I do believe, I think the Oakland Athletics were probably the easiest opponent we have faced possibly in the first 2 months. I think the other team possibly could have been the Texas Rangers, and yet we lost 2 of those games. Yeah, that's just the thing. A DH shouldn't win an MVP. Yeah, that's definitely something right there. But Bryce Harper right now is just showcasing that how valuable he is to the team right now, especially, if he's basically just trying to do everything possible. So that's the thing right here. He definitely is going to be putting up another type of MVP campaign. But there's like so many other good performances that are going on throughout baseball right now. Like Manny Machado with the Padres, Paul Goldschmidt, and Orlando Arenado with the Cardinals. So there's a lot of people who are performing around baseball right now that are performing to a very high level. You can even count, Pete Alonso for the Mets. He's putting up a great season for them too. So he has a good chance right there too for an MVP campaign, especially by how he kills the Phillies. He kills the Phillies. There's like so many Philly killers. It's not even funny. It really is. Yet worst defense in the majors. That's a major issue. Definitely a major issue there. It's just sometimes it's just really ugly to watch. This is from Alex Coffey right here. So let's see. So Alex Coffey says Joe Girardi on why the Phillies have lost 9 of their last 13. It's a plethora of things. At times we haven't pitched well. At times we haven't hit well. At times our defense has let us down. There's not one thing in particular. It's different things. No shit, Joe. No shit. We know this. We've known this for weeks. Thanks for stating the obvious, Joe Girardi. Thank you for stating the obvious. And it's funny too. I see one of my buddies that I went to college with. He's a Mets fan, and it's funny too. He's a Mets fan that grew up in the Pennsylvania area. That's really weird. And like he is also like a New York. He's basically a New York sports fan, Rangers, Mets, and all that stuff. And the Rangers beat tonight. They forced a game 7 against the Hurricanes. The Mets constantly beat on the Phillies, and every time I just see him on Twitter, every time they play the Phillies, I'm just like, like seriously, I want to trash talk you so badly, but I can't because we suck right now. And this is Alex Coffey posting about a Bryce Harper comment right here. Bryce Harper says, we've just got to keep going. You never want to lose 9 out of 13 or lose any series that you're playing, and we're doing that right now. I hate when people say it's early. I don't like that because you got to play. We got to keep going. We got to keep plugging along. We've got to keep pounding forward. Coming tomorrow, ready to go. No one feels bad for us, so we can't feel bad for ourselves. Here, Brett Myers said something actually on Twitter right here. It says, what else is there to say? The Phillies suck. Very talented players that can't find a way to win is very disturbing. It's definitely not for lack of trying, but they need to find a way. The Philly way has left this organization. Please bring back the intensity. Brett Myers stating something there. But yeah, it just sucks right now. It definitely does. It really does suck. So, looking at the rest of this series right here. So we got tomorrow, another nationally televised game. That's joyful. That is very joyful. Phillies getting embarrassed on nationally television on a daily basis. So we got Zach Wheeler going up against Chris Bassett tomorrow. 7 o'clock start on ESPN2. And then we're coming in for another homestand right here against a great 2 tough teams upcoming. Memorial Day on Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday against the San Francisco Giants. Gibson, Suarez, and Nola on the mound for that series, going up against Logan Webb, Junis, and Carlos Rodon for the Giants. And then upcoming next weekend, actually, for the rest of the homestand, is at the Los Angeles Angels, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, joy, and Taylor Ward and all that great stuff with the Angels team right now. Boy, Zach Eflin on the mound for that series, Zach Wheeler, and also Kyle Gibson. So it looks like not the best starters on the mound for the Angels that series. It looks like that I am mistaken right here. I'm trying to see these guys' stats. Okay, you got Patrick Sandoval, who's been pitching good for them this year. He's got a 1.79 ERA. You got Michael Lorenzen. He's got a 3.05 ERA. Looking at, who is this? Chase Sizzliff. Looks like I'm not even currently sure right here, but still. Look at that. Next week on Saturday against the Angels, that's going to be a Fox game. Oh, boy. More nationally televised games with the Phillies. Great. Great. Chance to see my team get embarrassed consistently. But still, look at the rest of the schedule, too. You got Giants, Angels, Brewers, and then your schedule does get drastically easier technically. You got the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 23 and 25. Technically, record-wise, they're better than the Phillies. They're 4th place in the NL West. You got them for a 3-game series at home. You play the Milwaukee Brewers on the road, though, before that. Then you got a 3-game series against the Marlins. That's going to be fun. Then you got the Washington Nationals for a 5-game series because one of those games on Friday is a doubleheader. You play 2 games in Texas, 4 games in San Diego, 3 games at home against Atlanta, Cardinals, Nationals, Cardinals, Blue Jays, Miami. Then looking at the rest, if the rest of the schedule wants to pop up for me for the second half, Chicago, Braves, Pittsburgh, Braves, Nationals, Marlins, Mets, Reds, Pirates, Diamondbacks. I hate the way these schedules are lined up because it's like you go like a 2-week span. You'll play 2 teams. Mets, Reds. 2 3-game sets against each of those teams, and then 2 4-game sets against each of those teams. Like, seriously, what is the schedule? My God. But still. Your schedule technically is going to get easier, technically. But going to be up for a lot of frustration now. It definitely is. And a lot of that frustration is warranted. So, That's going to do it for this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on this Phillies game, where your frustration lies with this team and everything like that? Do not forget to leave your comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the panel lines and everything else that is down in the description below. BrodesMedia, the Florida Pod merch website, everything like that. Don't forget to check all that stuff out. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. And also use the code TTPSPORTS down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time.